Are you playing the dating game? Are you sexually active? Today at the In Search of Me Cafe, find out how teens handle the pressures of dating and sex. Learn to understand relationships and dating at the In Search of Me Cafe.
I'ma take it to the top, show the whole world what I've got. I've been waiting my whole life. Ooh yeah, I'm in search of me. Oh yes, I'm trying to be everything I dream.
So you guys have all talked about a lot of really interesting aspects of a relationship. You know, a lot of bad things that you've gone through or that you've seen people go through, and even good ones too. To you, what would be the ideal relationship or person for you?
Somebody compatible, but not compatible that they're just boring.
Yeah, you don't want them to be a mirror image of yourself.
Yeah, you kind of want to, be able to learn to accept differences in somebody and love them for their differences and the fact that they're not perfect, and to have them accept who you are too, because you're different. So
you have sort of the opposites attract? Yin-yang sort of deal?
I mean, I don't exactly want to go, I go on a date with somebody who doesn't like movies and I love movies, or who wants pizza when I want Chinese. I mean, that'd be just a pain, because then we'd have no idea where to go or what to do. But definitely somebody who has enough of the same qualities that I can sit in the car and listen to the same music instead of sitting there fighting over the radio station, but that has their own opinions on things, who isn't afraid to argue with me about politics or better TV shows, or who looks better in what or whatever. It has their own opinion.
Like someone you could be yourself with, and someone who will accept you for you.
Right. Who won't take advantage of you.
Right.
Even in your most intimate moments, where you can have a bond, a trust that you can build with each other.
Somebody who's honest, and somebody who's ready for the bumps in the road that are going to come. Somebody who's going to be there with you through thick and thin. Just the person who you can trust if you tell them a secret. So you're pretty much your best friend, but then somebody you can also be intimate with.
That's true. We didn't really touch on that, but just being honest is a huge part of it too, in building that.
Maturity, being able to not look at the small things. And a lot of things in high school is just there's so many things that are immature. So somebody you can, have fun with and joke around, but when it comes time to needing somebody to be there for you when you're going through something tough, they have to be mature enough to take that and to help you through it, not sit there and crack jokes, because that's just going to make somebody mad or more upset.
Really, in order to have a good relationship, you have to be able to be friends with them. And I think that shows it a lot of time when people break up. If they can stay friends, that means that they made the right choice and they are compatible.
Reasons. Right.
Definitely someone who doesn't beat around the bush. If you have something to say it. You don't hide it, because then it kind of causes a lot of confusion. For an example, me and my girlfriend, for a while before we actually went out, we would both go to our friends and be like, she isn't texting me. I'm waiting for her to text me, and she's waiting for me to text her, I think, and then she'll go to her friends. I'm waiting for him to text me. And I'm waiting for him to tell me, he likes me. Then I'm going to my friends. I'm waiting for her to tell me she liked me. Then it all came down that night. We liked each other. And I mean, if we would have just, kept it real, and not beat around the bush, and not hide things, and just tell each other how we feel, then things would be much better. Just say what you feel.
Another thing would be somebody who doesn't let other people get involved in the relationship. Opinions are good, especially from friends. If a friend thinks that something's wrong, then yes, you should listen. But you shouldn't listen to the rumors that people spread, or the things that other people say. If you are dating somebody and you know them and you know who they are, then you have to trust that you know them best.
And it's also important to know that in a relationship, no relationship is flawless. There are always going to be times where you disagree on things, or where you make mistakes, and it's not all rainbows and fairy tales. I mean, a real relationship takes work. And it's a matter of being able to have that trust that you've already built with each other, you know, knowing each other's needs and wants and understanding each other, being able to communicate, where you can get through those hard times. You know, it's that real essence in a relationship that makes it work.
Yeah, some people are just too afraid to say what they really feel to the person they're dating because they don't want them to get mad. They don't want them to, you know, break up with them or leave them. But you have to be comfortable to tell them how you feel. If you don't like them doing something, you can't be afraid to tell them, hey, look, I really don't like you doing this. I'm uncomfortable with it. Or if they act differently around you when their friends are around and you want to talk to them about it, but you don't want them to say, well, you know, I act the same, but you just don't like it that I'm not all around you or whatever, I'm hanging out with my friends, then you need to sit there and say, no, that's not it. You act immature, you act dumb, you say mean things, that kind of hurt my feelings. You have to be willing to say things like that. Otherwise, the person will never know.
Yeah, if you're in a relationship and the other person's, like you said, afraid to say what they want, you know, all that does is cause more problems down the line.
Right.
And you know if you don't say anything to another person, that problem just builds up, and you begin to resent the other person.
Yeah, and then later on, when you guys are arguing, all of that will come out, and it's a way bigger fight than that. You can't. Sometimes fights are so big that it's just. There's no recovering from it, especially if you let things build up like that.
Or even you cover up the biggest problem, that it could just be something about the way they treat you on somebody else. But because of that, you hide that because you don't want them to know it. So you nitpick everything else, whether it's their hair or their clothes. You just bicker with them about everything. And then so finally you just sit down and you're like, what's the problem? And you tell them, and it was probably something stupid. But because you didn't want to tell them that, you just got in like a huge fight for no reason.
Yeah, you just got mad at things that really never made you mad before, and they still don't. You just got kind of picked at the smallest flaws because you were mad that you couldn't say what you really felt, what you really meant. And it just, then the other person kind of feels like you're smashing them down all the time. When really you could have just sat there and told them the straight up truth, and they probably understood. They probably would have sat there and been, all right, I probably do that, and if you say I do, then I must kind of act differently.
Right.
It's just about talking and communicating. There's a lot of big problems with that, even in an adult life.
Yeah, you can't be in a relationship, be afraid of telling the other person anything. And like if you're afraid of losing the other person because you said something to them,
then that person even shouldn't even be with you. Like
yeah,
if you feel the person's gonna take it not maturely, you shouldn't be with that person.
If you have that hesitation.
Yeah, if you feel like the person's gonna not take it well at all because you basically stated how you felt at the time about that person. If that other person is going to take it not so well at all, you shouldn't even be with the person. That's how I feel.
Yeah, and if you're like afraid of losing them and not being able to get another person, it's pretty stupid because you got with them. So, there must be someone else out there for you.
So if you had to summarize exactly what you look for that makes you happiest and what you would want out of a relationship, in one sentence, what would that be? Forrest?
I think it would be somebody that allows me to be who I am, and someone that's honest and they can be themselves around me.
Somebody that can help me through the bumps in the road, because there's a lot of them, especially today, and who isn't afraid to, get through those hard times, not just back down right away, aren't afraid to push through them and be like, look, it's tough right now, but on the other side, it'll be all right. We'll still be together. We'll still, love each other the exact same, but we'll be stronger with us, and it won't be so hard next time. And somebody who makes my life easier by helping me through the hard times.
I feel like it should be someone that likes me for me, and someone who understands me always, like if I'm in a bad situation, in a good situation, someone who understands me, and always comes honesty, and loyalty.
I feel that I would preferably like somebody that understands that we're just kids and that relationships shouldn't be taken so seriously at our age, and that can help me and support me, but isn't so tied down to relationship although we're only teenagers, we don't really know what we want, and that's basically what I'm looking for.
Someone who can always keep it real, never beat around the bush. You heard me say that before, but never beat around the bush. Always tell me and always let me know how you feel, and someone who likes me or loves me as much as I love them, I like them.
Well, I guess just like what they said, but somebody who's very open and, like they said, isn't afraid to be who they want to be. And then somebody who's not afraid to say, yeah, that person that's playing video games, that girl, she's my girlfriend. Or me to be able to say, yeah, that guy who's over there playing baseball, he's my boyfriend. I'm not afraid to accept that person for who they are and be proud of your relationship with somebody and be able to say, yeah, I've been with this person for 9 months. Wow, I'm excited to be with them, and yeah, I hope to be with them for a really long time. But if it ends, I know we're still going to be friends.
Yeah, that person over there that just tripped over their own 2 feet.
Yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, that's mine.